Hey guys, today's video is brought to you by DNF Duel. Action fighting at its extreme, one of the most popular and widely played RPGs in the world. Dungeon and Fighter is now back as a 2.5D action fighting game, DNF Duel. The 17-year RPG Dungeon Fighter Online is here in the latest 2.5D fighting game. A Smash-style fighting game with intuitive command inputs. Features the latest 2.5D style fighting game mechanics, dazzling skill effects that do a complete screen takeover. Uses rollback netcode to ensure a low lag and seamless multiplayer experience worldwide. Simplified online matchmaking where opponents are continuously matched just by queuing. Features all the modes that a fighting game should have, such as a story mode, a practice mode, survival mode, arcade, and more. DNF Duel is now available to purchase. Hello there everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 budget guns that you guys should be using in the early game, even the mid game, even the late game. A lot of these guns will still carry you through like most of the content in the game. Some of the guns will carry you through all of the content in the game, absolutely no problem, and on a serious budget. So guys, let's get into it. The list has definitely changed from the last time we've done one of these, but with some old favorites definitely still returning. Now, as of the most recent patch for Tarkov, there has been a few new additions to the budget gun setup, but coming in at our number 5 position is going to be the UMP45, which is available from Peacekeeper level 1 for 7 of these A2607 knives. You can very easily pick these up on your scav runs, or you can buy it from level 2 Peacekeeper for 304 rubles, making it even cheaper than the MP5. Now, the way you're going to want to set up your UMP, very, very simple. All you're going to want to do, put on whatever optic you want. It is completely up to you. And then just grab yourself any old foregrip that you'd like. So a lot of people like the Cobra for the Ergo, but you can just as easily slap an RK6 on here. Or if you've unlocked anything beyond that, you know, an RK0, an RK1, you can put one of these on there. You can even put a butt plug on it if you like. It is absolutely up to you. And if you want to keep it even lower budget, you don't even have to put a tactical device on it. Just slap whatever optic you like. Let's find something cheap, like a P1X. So you put on a P1X, your foregrip, and you are good to go. Doesn't need a suppressor, doesn't need anything else. If you have the money for it, you can, of course, suppress it if you like, but it is absolutely up to you. Now, you have a few choices for ammo. You have the 45 ACP Match FMJ, which is what most people seem to use in this, or you have the Laser Match FMJ, which I believe does more flesh damage, which you can buy in 300 per trader reset. And then the FMJs you can buy in an unlimited amount, and these rounds are only $8 each. Now, you can eventually unlock the 45 ACP AP, which are $8 a round, which is quite expensive, considering that M855A1 is also the same price. So it is up to you on the ammo front. In my experience, doesn't make too much of a difference, because with SMGs like this, you're just gonna want to aim for headshots. That is the UMP covered. Let's get on to the second gun in the list. And coming in at our number 2 position, lads, we have the old fan favorite, the PP19. This gun is so good. You just fill it with PSTs, off you go. Just aim for headshots. If they have visor, aim for the legs, and this thing is just a beast. In the early game, it is so good. And there is a good reason why a lot of people use these in the early game, and it's why you see them a lot. And this is why myself, I use them a lot in the early game, because they're absolutely dirt cheap. And you can literally just run it like this. You don't even need to swap out the handguard to be able to put a foregrip on it or anything. You just grab this gun, you put on either a Cobra or you put on an OKP, and you are good to go. And that is literally it. This gun is so good, not only for killing other players, killing scavs. It has very little recoil. You can even kill some bosses with it. Now, when I say bosses, you can probably kill Reshala. If you get unlucky and some of the scav guards have visors, you might have a little bit of trouble there. But for Reshala himself, guards without visors, you can do it. You can even kill Sturman with this. I've killed Sturman with this gun before. You can kill the new scab bosses if you happen to run into them. This will be good enough as long as you land your headshots and you pull them into a close place, like in Krackhouse. And this is just all in all a fantastic gun. If you want to take it a step even just like a little bit further, you can put like an RS-47 on it. You can put, you know, a grip on it. You can even suppress it if you like. You can put a laser on it. You can do all kinds of stuff with the PP. You can make it super fancy. But as the gun stands, just bare bones, 30 round mags, PSTs with just an OKP or an EKP sight on it, and you are good to go. Look no further. This gun will carry you through pretty much all the content in the game. Never forget the power of the PP. Now, moving on to our number 3 position. And coming in at number 3, we have this fancy little SKS here. Now, you might be wondering, Twizzler, that's a fancy looking SKS. How can I afford that? Well, if you go to mechanic and you go to level 2, you can snag yourself this little barter trade right here, which is for simply 1 GP coin and a single screwdriver with the red handle. And that's it. And you've got yourself a nice little fancy SKS right here. Now, what's very popularly done on this gun in particular is you grab yourself a cheeky little foregrip of any kind. People will often choose to suppress them if you like, and then simply grab yourself whatever optic and stick it right on the front, and off you go. This gun is an absolute demon. It runs PS rounds, which were absolutely buffed this wipe, which is kind of surprising to me. So if you want yourself a little, you know, close range, hard hitting DMR, and you don't really like RFBs, you can just run yourself one of these. Super cheap, will again kill all the content in the game, pretty much no problem for you. And it's just a great gun, and it's super cheap because everybody always gets GP coins from safes. They get them from jackets, you can get them from duffel bags, and this is a great way of actually utilizing those GP coins rather than, you know, just selling them or, I don't know, keeping them for something else. One other thing, I know I better mention it because other people are going to freak out if I don't. So here we have the standard SKS. I'm going to find, where's the one that has the dovetail on it? Anyways, there's an SKS very similar to this one. And if you happen to find it in raid on a scav and it has the little dovetail mount here, you can then put like a PSO scope on it and you can use it for long range. It'll absolutely demolish players. It's got great range, great ammo choices. You can run PS. When you eventually unlock BP ammo, this gun absolutely melts everything and anyone. Doesn't matter what helmet they're wearing, doesn't matter what armor they're wearing. This gun is absolutely great. And I feel like this barter trade is kind of slept on and nobody really uses it because I haven't seen anybody using this gun this wipe yet. And it's a fantastic little budget option considering you have to do very, very little to it in order to make such a versatile gun that will do everything you need. All right. So that was my choice for number 3. Let's move on to number 4. And coming in at the number 4 position, this is going to be a gun that most people are going to absolutely despise throughout the course of this wipe. It is the MP18 Break Action 762x54R or whatever it is. And this gun is available from level 1 Jaeger for 16,000 rubles. It is absolutely dirt cheap. If you want to be a mega rat, you can buy this, keep all the ammo in your container, and then take out one shot at a time in order to minimize any loss that you might run into. Now, this gun, just off the price point alone, is absolutely absurd. You can even mod it a little bit. You can put the polymer stock on here. You can put the polymer thingy on there. It's just, it makes it look a little bit better. And it actually increases the ergonomics just like a tiny bit. But to be honest with you, it is an absolute waste of money. Don't even bother doing that. But what you can do is you can actually put a rail on here and then you can mount an optic. So now you have a one-shot Mosin break action that you can snipe with from a pretty long distance away. Pretty much the same distance as any other 762x54 gun in the game. So, you know, like the SV98. And it's only going to cost you 16k. The most expensive part of this gun is going to be the optic that you put on it. So the optic that I have on here now is literally 3 times the price of the gun itself, which is just absolutely ridiculous. But this gun is going to be a lot of people's budget go-to guns this wipe. If you are good at landing your headshots, this will kill absolutely everything in the game. The only major drawbacks is it's got like a 2 or 3 second reload time because you have to break it open, pull out the shell, and then put in a new round into the gun. But if you run this thing with like some kind of backup pistol, I know a lot of people have been running revolvers with this thing as backup weapons. You could run a Glock as a backup weapon, even just a Grok or something. It is absolutely up to you for those situations where you get close and personal with scavs, and you can just whip out your pistol, kill a couple of scavs, and then use this for your medium to long range scenarios. Or if you're not running a scope on it, you can do close range kind of quick peek, quick scopes with it or whatever. And hey, if you lose it, I guarantee you, if you insured it, it is more than likely coming back because this thing sells to the trader for like 8k. and nobody is going to waste a weapon slot on your MP18. This is like the new TOS. I don't think I've ever looted one of these and actually brought it out of a raid off another player. I just see it and I go, well, he's going to get that back if he's insured it. So I'm not insuring anything this wipe, but this is one gun that you should definitely be insuring because it will come back like a boomerang every freaking time. And finally, last but absolutely not least, my new favorite gun of the entire wipe, the Benelli M3 Super 90 dual mode 12 gauge shotgun. Now, this is the only gun where you are going to have to level up your traders a little bit to get. You are going to need to grab yourself level 3 Jaeger in order to use this shotgun, but it only costs you 40k. Now, I'm going to show you guys the configuration that I run it in. So what I do is I grab the 7-round mag, and then I put one of the 12 gauge adapters on it. I put a GKO2 on it, and then on top of this, I normally run myself a little EOTech. And then on the stock, I will swap it to the Urbino. And then that is it. This is how I run the gun. So 40k on top of the price. And then you're looking at 40k for all the rest of the stuff. Most of that being taken up by the optic. But if you just change the optic to something like an EKP or whatever. So the base price of the gun is 40k. And then you're looking at 30k. So 70k altogether to run this. You might be wondering, Dave, this is just a shotgun. You know, who cares? Well, this is one of... At least in my opinion, I think this gun is better than the 153. I think it's better than the Ultima. I think it's better than the fully modded Saiga. It just, for whatever reason, just has such little recoil, and it's so easy to control, and it's in such a small package, and it is just an absolute demon in dorms, in like the resort. I've got I think a video actually went out where I was using this gun, and I killed, I think, 7 people in East Wing in the resort with this thing, all close range, all whilst using Flechette. And yeah, if you guys were worried that you need to go ahead and unlock yourself, you know, AP20s in order to make this gun effective, well, I'll let you know right now that these Flechette rounds, I've used the AP20s in this thing, and honestly, the Flechettes just perform way, way better. Flechettes for 100 rounds is only 13k, and then normally what I'll do if I'm running the shotgun is I will just put 2 stacks of Flechette in my container, 1 stack of Flechette on my my hotbar here. And even if you die, you're only going to lose 20 Flechettes, maybe even less, depending on if you've shot anything that raid. Yeah, this gun is absolutely nuts. So there it is. That is it. The Benelli Super 90 coming in at my #1 pick for best budget gun of the wipe. Now, also, if you just buy the base gun, all I'll recommend you do is just put the 7-round mag in it. You can run it without an optic. You can run it with just the irons. And if you're running Flechette, you're going to mince through any like armor in the game. It doesn't matter what they're wearing. They will fall over like a sack of spuds, man. So there you have it, lads. That is my current top 5 budget guns of the most recent patch, which is 12.12.30. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope that you guys will try out some of these gun builds, and that they will bring you great success and on a serious budget. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching, my dudes.